So
It is a famous guitar, man.
it is.
There's a direct correlation between this and the White Album.
Kind of a big deal.
Hi folks, Nathaniel here at Chicago Music Exchange. I'm joined by Daniel Escoriza. How's it going?
Good, man. Good.
So we have got a couple of very special guitars. I mean, two mind-blowing guitars.
Yes.
Let's have it right.
Yeah, these are very, very special, and it's cool to have them at the same time because, in a way, they're but one. Not in a way.
Yeah.
This one is a first-year Strat,
Yeah.
and in a way, that's a first-year Tele. Well, it is a first-year Tele. Teles are kind of weird because the first-year Tele is really the Broadcaster in 1950. But this is the first year that it was officially called a Telecaster. So a 52 Tele and a 54 Strat in the same room.
Crazy, isn't it? Now,
Pretty awesome.
I assume it's quite rare to have a first-year Strat and essentially a first-year Tele in the same room, right?
Yeah, we've had both a few times.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
lucky enough to have 3 54 Strats here and a few Blackguards, but to have them both at the same time, this is definitely the first time this happens.
I mean, it's very cool. I mean, this is a dream guitar for me.
Me too. It's just one of the most versatile and badass instruments ever made.
It's
Still
just-
to this day, tried and true.
Just out of this world. I mean, look at the neck. I love that.
That guitar has been through hell and back, and that's kind of the way I like my Teles.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know?
that's what I love about it. That, you know, it's rock and rolled. It's, you know, had a bit of abuse. I mean, is there more to the story about this guitar then, or?
Oh, that guitar has a long story, for sure, yeah. And it has been through a lot, and it today is one of my favorite sounding Teles that we've ever had here. It is just a phenomenal sounding instrument. At some point in time, it got some water, not directly on the guitar. Fortunately, not the original case either. It was in a gig bag,
Right.
and there was a leak in the room that leaked on a couch, and this was on the couch on the other side of the couch.
Wow.
So the couch got wet, and some of the moisture transferred through the gig bag, and the guitar was wet, but at least it wasn't like standing water or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was very carefully, the finish in this part especially started flaking away because it got wet, especially on the back.
Yeah.
And it, fortunately, the owner, because both of these guitars are consigned.
Oh, okay.
And which is amazing. The same person owns these guitars, and he's deciding to part ways with them, and we're consigning them for him. But he immediately sent it to Joe Glazer, and he expertly applied a very thin layer of finish that you could really.
Oh, you would know it.
In fact, under blacklight, you can't even tell.
Yeah.
But it just to kind of preserve the finish in some spots.
Yeah.
And he cleaned it really well so that none of the metal parts would corrode.
Yeah.
They caught it right on time, basically. If it's the kind of story that if it was left there for even a week, it'd be a very different story.
Wow.
And this would potentially be in a non-functioning guitar.
I mean, I gotta say the water damage kind of looks cool.
I think the guitar looks awesome as is, yeah. By the way, all of this here is player wear. That is not water.
I
The
love
water
that.
was really focused down here.
Just down here.
Yeah, fortunately, man, and this is so fortunate, the electronics are okay. The neck pickup had to be rewound,
Yeah.
but that, from what we can see, that has nothing to do with the water. It just, pickups eventually go bad. All pickups go bad.
It just looks so good though.
It looks awesome, and it plays amazing.
Why doesn't my neck look like this? I played the life out of my guitar. And
It will.
It's not even close to coming like that.
It will. How old is your guitar?
2011.
This is from 1952.
Fair
Got a couple more years of
I'm
wear
trying my
on
best though. I'm trying my best. But even on the back, just a wonderful looking
You'll
guitar.
get there. I promise
We'll
you.
get there. We'll get there. So we know there's a lot of history and a lot of stories with this guitar, but what about that guitar?
This guitar also has a really, I mean, you can just tell. I mean, when you look at this thing, you know it's been through a lot.
Definitely, yeah.
But, and I can't prove this, but we do know the history of ownership all the way back to 1969,
Right.
which is when, so somebody bought it in the store in Colorado in 1969, and this person was in a band that used to back Bo Diddley.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and again, this is a story that was told to the previous owner, right, who then is now consigning it to us.
Yeah.
But that band that used to back Bo Diddley used to tour with this guitar.
That's cool.
And Bo Diddley saw this guitar, played it, loved it, apparently, and he named it Martha. So this guitar has a name, and according to previous ownership, this guitar was named by Bo Diddley, and its name is Martha. And the reason why is amazing. Apparently, just like a week or two before they started touring together, and he met this guitar.
Yeah.
Bo Diddley was with Paul McCartney back in his farm, and he became close friends with Paul McCartney's dog, whose name was Martha.
Oh wow.
And the color of the guitar at that time, the guitar didn't look like this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure the dog wasn't a mangy dog.
Yeah.
But not that there's anything wrong with, all dogs are great.
Yeah.
But the color of the fur reminded him of the color of this guitar, so Bo Diddley named this Martha.
That is crazy.
Yeah. And apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, but that song, what's that song with Martha in it?
Little Martha? Wait, no, I'm thinking that's Allman Brothers, isn't it?
What
Martha.
Beatles song is? Why am I blanking on that right now?
Martha in the Sky with Diamonds.
Yeah.
Songs about people.
There is.
Martha, My Dear from the White Album.
Yes.
So Martha, My Dear from the White Album apparently is actually about the dog. I don't know.
And this
I
guitar is about that dog.
Yeah. A pretty indirect correlation.
Value has just
correlation.
skyrocketed.
Nonetheless. Yeah, but it is, it's been played a lot. So it's a player grade instrument. You can tell, for example, It's funny, Andrew actually just pointed this out. There's a lot of wear right here. It's
Yeah.
like, why is there a lot of wear right
That
there?
is strange.
Definitely, well, from rock and roll picking, right?
I know, but like,
But then why is it there and not on the guard? And the reason why is because all of this plastic stuff
Yeah.
was switched at one point. It makes sense because the material that was used in early Strats was so brittle. That's why you see a bunch of pictures.
they'd kind of crack, right?
Exactly, yeah, the pickup covers are cracked. The guards would crack. So somebody transplanted all of the plastic from a 57 Strat to this guitar.
Right.
So the electronics are 54, but the plastic is 57. And we know it's a 57 because the previous owner actually did that. Yeah, so if this had the original stuff, it would be all cracked and it would definitely have wear continuing from here through the guard. But yeah, the holes in the back are a mystery. Still don't know what that could possibly be.
Yeah.
I can only hope it was some kind of contraption that held like a bottle of some kind of liquor with like a straw going up to the player so that they could recharge while, you know, or water, you know, whatever.
In all seriousness, I cannot for the life of me think what that seriously could have been.
Maybe an incredibly elaborate, like,
Big detail piece.
On the
A
back.
9-screw wraparound Bigsy.
Yeah.
That you operate with your hip.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Give it a little shake.
What about guitar on
Wait, can
the
you
back
focus
of the
in on
guitar?
that?
Hey.
Show that again.
Oh,
Guitar
oh.
to the back of the guitar, so you flip it.
So like you're saying this guitar was
Yeah.
bolted to another
and you
guitar,
would
and when you
flip.
needed another tuning, you flipped it over and it was another guitar?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think he's onto something.
Exactly.
Well, if you think you know what these are for, please put it in the comments. We would love to know your opinion.
The strange part about that, when you look at it, is that it's the holes that have clearly finish work around them. So it's not like there was a plaque attached or something like that. Like, almost like, wait, flip it over.
But there is some sort of symmetry to them. Like it is.
Oh, for
it's
sure.
not random.
It looks like when I try and hang something on my walls and I slowly get closer to where I want it to be, but there's a trail
That could
Hey,
totally be
That's
it.
awesome.
of terrible. Yeah.
That could
That's awesome.
totally be. It could totally be something like that. Maybe
Yeah.
it was something that only required 2 screws, and they're like, "Ooh, I don't like it there."
And they moved
Oh no,
it.
maybe it's better here. You know. It could have been like a pick holder.
That's pretty fucking.
Yeah, it's massive.
If that was a pick holder, he either had a real serious problem with holding on to picks.
I mean, so it is a hardtail. So maybe there was some kind of contraption that.
Surely they weren't thinking of trying to convert it to a
No.
Oh,
Well,
like maybe
yeah.
like a tailpiece.
Yeah, but surely they'd have to go all the way through.
They would have to go through, and there's nothing on the front.
Yeah.
By the way, every time I hold this guitar, it freaks me out how amazing this one solid piece of
I was gonna
ash
say like
is.
the knot in
It
the
is
wood there.
absolutely stunning. Honestly, it has like figuring. If you look at that, I mean, that is just insane.
When I
It-
first saw it, the first thing
Look
that came
at
to mind
that.
is that the person who picked that actually cared what it looked like when he did it.
look, I mean, that is.
Yeah, but hang
just-
on. Would you, when this was brand new, you wouldn't have been able to necessarily tell, though, right?
Yeah, it would.
Would you? On the front,
Yeah.
What?
like you wouldn't be able to tell those.
Showed wood grain.
Yeah, yeah.
I know, but not
would
to
have
the
been
extent it
dark.
does now.
No, yeah, it would have been dark here, but you would be able to see that. This would
Yeah.
be darker a little higher up.
Yeah.
It fades over time. It would have been kind of like that. These sunbursts, early sunbursts, are, they were pretty narrow and very, very kind of two-tony.
Right.
I mean, it is a two-tone, but extremely two-tone, like light, dark, as
Yeah.
opposed to more of
Yeah.
a gradient, And that changed pretty much immediately in 55. Even in later 54, you would already start seeing more gradients.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely stunning guitar. The backstory on it is super cool.
That's crazy, though. Yeah.
Very, very cool. It's a player grade and it's priced as such. I mean, 54s, I've seen people ask over 100K, and rightfully so. It's a first year
Yeah.
of one of the most iconic instruments ever made.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for it to fetch real money. This guitar is being priced significantly below that because these two pickups, this guitar has been played. I mean,
Yeah.
you can just tell this guitar has been rocked. I mean, it backed Bo Diddley for a while, so
Yeah.
it's been places. These two pickups have been rewound. I'm sure that they basically just died at some point from sweat and from being rocked on. Other than that, the board has been it's been refretted.
Yeah.
And they used small, appropriate frets, so it still kind of has the same footprint, has the same feel, the same look, but it has fresh frets.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun to play. The neck has been oversprayed at some point, and the only place where you can really tell is the headstock because the whole neck has been played so much again after it's been oversprayed that you gotta remember when we traced it back all the way to 1969, and in 69, this was just a used guitar. It wasn't a 54 first-year Strat. It was just a badass instrument that this person played for a long time because it's a great instrument.
Yeah.
And all of these little things that happened to it along the way happened to it while this was still just a used guitar, not a, super collectible, incredibly rare thing.
But so the same could be said of this. Do you think this has been played a lot?
Oh yeah.
Well, clearly, obviously.
Yeah. It's been played a lot, and it's been through a lot as well.
Yeah.
It's broken in, feels amazing, sounds incredible.
Yeah.
That bridge pickup, to me, we've had a lot of Blackguards here. By the way, not one has been bad. They're all great.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this stands out in any particular way, other than this is my favorite sounding bridge pickup that we've had of all the of all of these that we've had.
I've still not heard this plugged in,
Really?
Still not heard
It's gonna blow you away.
So I'm looking forward to trying it out.
Yeah.
Right, you've got to choose one. Put you on the spot.
It should be a tough choice, but it isn't because I am such a telly person.
Yeah.
I just am. And the reason why I say that is because I've held both of these, I've played both of them. This guitar is so much more comfortable. This cut and this cut really does make a difference. I mean, that is just ergonomically such a more comfortable guitar to play than that.
Yeah.
But when I look at that guitar, to me that's like the iconic, the pinnacle of guitars. It's just funny because when Leo came up with this, he was like, I need something better than this. It has to have one more pickup for more sounds.
Yeah.
It has to have individually intonatable saddles.
Yeah.
So there are some things about this guitar that make it better.
Yeah. Of course.
But man, I tell you,
It's hard to.
I mean, this guitar is amazing.
I'd have that in heartbeat.
Here,
Don't get me wrong.
hold that.
And
Which one, gents?
Ooh, that guitar is lighter than this.
that's quite heavy for a telly, isn't it?
So one thing about tellies is that a lot of people think that all early tellies are light. That is not true.
Well,
The
evidently.
heaviest telly I've ever had here was a broadcaster or a no-caster. I can't remember now, but it was earlier than this, 50 or 51. So it must have been actually a no-caster. And it was Les Paul heavy.
Oh, wow.
And it was alder. I mean, sorry, excuse me. It was ash.
Yeah.
It's just a heavy piece of ash.
Yeah. Wow. But that feels good though. This the neck on
But
this
that neck
feels
is
good.
amazing
Yeah.
too. So now do that on this. I mean, they're both great.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so light. I gotta say,
Discernible, but watching that neck, wow, that
It looks amazing, this neck.
yeah.
This is amazing.
I can't believe I'm gonna say this.
Go on.
Unplugged. If I had to choose between these two and I had to put aside my predisposition toward tellies, I would choose this guitar.
Is it because I played Alan Jackson? You just don't like Alan Jackson. Is that it?
You got it. Yeah, you ruined it for me.
What?
No, not at all. It's just this neck
Yeah, yeah,
and,
yeah.
and this guitar is so light. I mean, I don't know
It
how
is
much
light.
it weighs, but my goodness, it's just such a pleasure to hold.
Yeah. So wonderful guitars. Again, one of my literal dream guitars. So it's an honor to play this. Obviously, an incredible guitar as well. Now we do have some of these kind of, I don't want to say remade, but we got 54 modern ones.
Yeah, it's an
put it that way.
anniversary year,
That's-
and so yeah, we all did a video on them. So
Yeah,
you
a couple of
can
months
click
back.
on this link, and you can go to that video.
Yeah.
And see all about that. But yeah, we have great reissues of the 54 Strat. None of them are hardtail, but do remember that you can pretty much order anything from the custom shop. So if you do
Yeah.
want a hardtail Strat, I think they can do that. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they can. And they can certainly make all kinds of different versions of that you could possibly dream of.
Of course. So make sure to check the website. And as always, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.
You know, still, if I had to choose between, money aside, if I had to choose between these three guitars,
Yeah.
I still think I would choose this guitar.
You're wrong.
Really?
You're wrong. And you can go ahead and tell him that in the comments.
That guitar is beautiful, though.
But this is why I did. I mean, this is a triumvirate right here. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, man.
If we were gonna
this, if you think about it, think about it.
Wow. Think
This
about
is
this.
why
This is
we're in business
crazy.
today.
Yeah.
This is why Fender and Gibson are in business today. It is this.
Yeah.
That's it.
True, actually, yeah.
As much as I love the ESs on the walls and some
Yeah.
other stuff.
Yeah, these are
That's it.
the highest selling, yeah.
And think about it too. In 1954,
Models of all
which
time.
again,
Yeah.
couple years later, that was already around. This is his next step. The Les Paul became a thing in 51, 52. They had figured out the right way to do it by 59. It took them a little bit, considering plastics and everything else that come along. This is it.
Yeah.
This is what we spend all year working on.
Well, I suppose it's in some ways pop culture as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Huge influence on that.
Yeah. And every time somebody tries to come out with a new shape or a new feature or something else, this is the jockeying 1, 2, and 3 position for
Yeah.
what
Which,
everybody
that,
plays
that
in the
being
industry.
said, man, like, kudos to everybody out there trying to make
Yeah, of
new
course.
guitars
Yeah.
and better products. And, because, I mean, can you imagine having to compete with this?
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
The Jag Stang.
But you know what the funny part is? And again, this is worth talking about. There are things wrong with this design and with its functionality as an instrument.
Yeah.
There are things that not
Yeah.
everybody cares about with that. And
Oh, yeah.
obviously, there's the Strat is very polarizing. It either
Yeah.
nails it or it doesn't.
Yeah.
But you do have people like Paul that have made an incredible instrument. But Paul's whole encyclopedic knowledge in his head is bits from all of these
Oh, yeah,
about
yeah.
what nailed it and then how to go on to the next thing.